Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. I hope you're having a cracking day so far and I hope you've had an awesome weekend. It is unfortunately Sunday, which means tomorrow is Monday. I hate Mondays. And speaking of that noise I just made, today we are reacting to Cowboy baked beans, and apparently these are quite different to just normal Cowboy beans which we've reacted to before. I'll stick the video up in one of these corners and you can check that one out after this video. But yeah, I'm quite excited to see this because when I lived in the UK, I quite liked beans on toast. It was one of my little guilty pleasures, especially on the weekend. Loads of butter, tin of beans on some toast that was almost burnt, and then maybe if I was feeling extra frisky, I'd throw a few pieces of bacon in there as well. But yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys have had an awesome weekend. I had a pretty good weekend. We went out yesterday to a horse show. It's about an hour from us. We took a drive there with my daughter. She's a bit horse obsessed. And when we got there at about 8 a.m. No, maybe it was 8:30, 9 a.m. And I went to get my missus and I a coffee from the little stand. It was an awesome place, nothing major big or anything. So I got us a coffee and I was pressured into buying a tombola, which is like a raffle. So I wrote my name down. I bought 2 tickets, 86 and 64, 86 my birth year. And within about an hour of being there, my name got called out. And I was like, what the heck's going on? So I sent my son up to collect my prize. And I'd won 12 Mustang. I've never heard of them, Mustang beers. And yeah, I ended up drinking 8 of them at the show. And I was completely sozzled. I'm still feeling a little bit fragile now because I'm not a big drinker. But the weather was nice. So I had some beers and it was quite nice. I got home and I tried to film a reaction or two for you guys. And I did film a couple, but I just couldn't put them up. I could not put them up. I was slurring. My vision was blurred. I had no idea what was going on because, like I say, I'm not a big drinker. I uploaded one that I'd already uploaded onto Patreon. And then my missus came upstairs after a few hours to check where I was. And I lay down on the bed to put my phone on charge, and that was it. I was man down. So, yeah, I do apologize for that. I'm sorry. I'm not a big drinker, so when I do, it hits me hard. Anyway. Without further ado, well, no, before we do that, if you haven't done so already, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. And if you're feeling extra frisky, you may as well hit the like button as well. I do have a Buy Me a Coffee page and a Patreon page linked down in the description if you want to help support the channel. That would be freaking awesome. But as usual, please feel no obligation to do so. And without further ado, let's check out Cowboy Baked Beans.
Don't you just hate it when somebody
I
says we're going to have some kind of beans and they just bring a can out there and dump it? I don't know what to tell you. Take them cans to a new level. Some Cowboy baked beans that's got a bite in them. Whoo, they is good. Stick around, folks. Going on down to just James Brown here. I'm finna put the move on some beans. We ain't talking about boring, but we are talking about can. My mother taught me a long time ago, you can take can and make them into something special. And I have proved it many times. Just go back to Chop Grill Masters. I fooled Aaron so bad he thought them didn't even come out of a can. So to start with, we're going to use...
I love the way he speaks. I have to admit, though, I have tried playing with a tin of... Okay, they're baked beans. In the UK, I'd often make it... I'd like turn it into a curry. I'd make like a nice curry sauce with tomatoes, onions, and like really spicy like curry base. And I'd mix it in with the beans, let it cook for a little while. Not till the beans went too soft and soggy. And I tell you what, after a helping of that, you are like a trumpet, my friend.
2 kinds of beans. Ranch style bean, or what y'all might think is just an old chili bean in a can, and Van Camp's pork and beans. I have took me one of them colanders and drained them beans, so I'm gonna pour them right here in that Dutch oven. Make sure you give them time to drain really well. I have browned me up 6 slices of thick cut bacon. I'm gonna dump them in there.
Already a winner.
One of these whole cans of chipotle peppers and adobo sauce. Now, folks, I'm telling you, do you want to tame it down just a tad? Take you half of them.
No.
We're talking about taming down. This is for me and the Beagle. We're going to use every one of them. So let's dump them all in there real good. Then, one of them medium-sized Vidalia onions dumped in there that has been minced or chopped, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to use about a tablespoon to a tablespoon and a half of mustard, which is that much. We're going to give that a good mixing. You can use whatever kind of barbecue sauce you think you got to have. Me, I like something that's got a little sweet to it, but not a whole lot. So, how much? I'd say
that
start
barbecue
out with
sauce?
at least a half a cup, then we'll see where we're at. You want to make sure you got some liquid in there with it, so comes down to the ultimate test of what we're going to do, and that's taste it. Now, them chipotle peppers is going to give this a little bite, so we need to tone that down a little. What we're going to do, we're going to put brown sugar in there.
Sugar?
Which is that much right there.
I thought the barbecue sauce, because barbecue can be sweet, can't it? So I thought that would be enough sugar.
I guarantee you, as
You
Justin
put quite a
Wilson
lot
used
in.
to say, mix it up well.
Yeah, I'm not complaining.
Now we got some stuff that we got sweet and we got heat. It's a deadly combination. You can see that consistency, folks. If Shannon will zoom in here,
it already looks good already.
We're gonna take them over here and put them on a trivet. Coals underneath, coals on top, about a medium heat. They got to cook through for about maybe 10 minutes, and then we good to go. Folks, we're gonna have the recipe in the little link below, but also Shannon good enough that she gonna give you the conversion over to regular indoor recipe in the house. So I'm fixing to cook this right out here on some coals. I got some mesquite burning, so let's get at it, because I'm getting hungry. Now folks, we got this on a tall trivet today, but you could put that down there on what you call maybe a medium height trivet. So we're going to start out with coals.
I didn't know what a trivet was when you first said it. Okay, I know what it is now.
Coals on the outside edge here.
I love a camp oven.
Now, we will have to rotate. Alright folks, we've got these coals on the top. Pretty medium amount around the outside edge. We'll let them get to cooking, let them get to simmering here. Then we'll rotate lid one way, bottom the other, even out any hot spot we might have. And you can tell by looking at the beagle over there, he's getting ready for some beans, he is.
Yeah, he looks it.
Now folks, I'll guarantee you the way that wind's blowing today, we're going to cook them a whole lot quicker than what we'd cook them in there in the house in the conventional oven. It's not going to take near as long. I don't know if things have started to simmer yet, but we'll check. No, things is just minding their own business there, so we're going to let them go. We'll come back in a minute, we'll rotate. We're going to take a look. I'm thinking we're going to have to add a little juice here to things, as in when heating. You can see we got just a little bubble starting to take effect. So I'm going to speed it up just a tad. And I'm going to add a little heat, top and bottom.
I love this style of cooking. I love cooking outside. There's nothing better than cooking outside. I can't tell you how much I miss camping. And you know when you wake up in the morning, I think I've said it before, and your fire is still smoldering from the night before, and you get a smell of that little bit of smoke. Oh, the sun's just coming up. It's so quiet. You hear the birds starting. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Folks, let's do a little check-in here. Oh, as you can see, things are happening now.
There you go.
We got a little more liquid in there than we might need, so we're going to rotate, and then we're going to do...
It's quite a cool gadget he's got there.
A little crack in this lid, see if we can't get rid of some of that moisture that's in there. We don't like much. We're going to let her go about 4 more minutes, then we're going to call it a done deal. So
it's
let's
a pretty quick recipe.
See what's happening here. Things is boiling good. Ain't nobody sticking nowhere, so we're in good shape. I'm gonna call this a done deal. I'm getting hungry.
I nearly cringed then. I thought he was gonna put it straight onto the wood.
I tell you, you want to let this cool before you start to even think about dipping it and putting it on a plate. Always serve it with a slotted spoon as well. So we're going to dig in there, go plumb to that bottom because there ain't nothing burnt. Pull that up here just a minute, let some of that juice run out of it for just a second.
I tell you what, they look
awesome. Off that rascal. That'll burn the hair off a frog's butt, I'll guarantee you. Didn't cook long, maybe 10 minutes, 12 at the most, top and bottom. Now you remember the bacon was about 3/4 done before we started. Processed beans here in them cans, they was done cooked or they wouldn't have put them in there. All we're doing is combining flavors, but we're also giving it time to love each other as it goes around there. You got to bring it to a good boil, top and bottom, let it thicken just a little, get all them flavors incorporated, then you'll be good to go. Barbecue sauce is different wherever you're at. Now, Some of it's a lot thinner or thicker than others. What we used today was a little thicker than maybe what we normally might get from the store, but you can sort of regulate that, cut back if you think you've got a thinner barbecue sauce than a thicker, but always go by your taste before you ever take it to the fire. Make sure you've got it sweet as you want it. Make sure you got enough heat in there. Always remember, you got to have that mustard in there to even things out. All right, folks, let's try these little rascals. Get me some of that bacon, some of them chipotle peppers, little onion.
I bet you it's awesome.
My taste buds is singing a song. They be happy, happy, happy. When you combine all these flavors and you use canned ingredients, you can make them taste this good. You just got to know what to add, how long to cook, what to put with it to bring out all the flavor. All gets in there and it makes a happy meal. Well, folks, hope you learned something today here at school. How many of you are, and I want to see a show of hands out there, vote for the boring bean candidate?
I love this guy. I've watched so many of his recipes. Some of his videos are quite detailed, especially some of his newer ones. And I love the way he cooks and his style of cooking. I'm going to give those a try, to be honest with you, because like he says, like a normal tin of baked beans is quite boring. And the ones we get here in Slovakia aren't that tasty either. That's why I used to add them. I'd buy the pre-cooked baked beans in the shop, and then I'd turn it into a bit of a curry, and like he said, let the flavors meet each other. Don't let those beans go too soft, and it always turned out delicious. I mean, even my missus, who's not a big fan of spicy food, well, not too spicy, she used to enjoy it as well. So, oh, I definitely fancy something like that now. Something like that would go down a treat. Bit of bread in there as well. Ooh. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Enjoy Monday at work. I know it's going to suck. I'm dreading Monday as well. Try to keep your chin up. Hug a loved one. And I will see you all in the next video. Peace.